What's up, everybody? Another day in the hammock. Had the day off again. 2 days in a row, man. Feels good. Feels real good to take a break from work. So, what are we going to talk about? I guess more Amico. Why not? They had their Crayola event this weekend, Saturday, and I took some time and I watched one of the guys, Next Level Gaming. He did a live stream of the event, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, there was some people there. There was some interest. Good for them. I mean, this is what we've been saying all along. I mean, they got to get their asses out there and show this system off, because it's not going to sell in the store just sitting there. The games, here's the thing. Here's the thing before I go any further. Do the games look like shit? No, they don't look like shit. Do they look like they play okay? Yeah, they look like they play okay. Do they look like they belong on a fully priced console? No, not at all. Not even close. $99.99 all day long. That's what that system should be. I am the target audience for the system. I am 43 years old. I grew up playing the Atari. I am used to those simple games, and I would not pay $250. I would not pay $150. I would not pay $99 myself. I'd maybe $49, maybe. But the people that are going to buy it and would have fun with it will buy it at $99. That's where it needs to be. Because they're simple games. I mean, so I didn't like the Flying Tigers game. I thought that was crap. I said that yesterday. But I did see them playing biplanes. That's similar to, what was it, Air Sea Battle or something like that. I think it was on the Atari, or that could have been on the Intellivision, one of them. I don't know. But there was a game. Well, Combat, for example. Combat on the Atari was a fun game. You could play as a tank and go after each other. Then there was other levels that you could pick, and you could be planes and you could fight each other. And that's a reimagining of that game. It doesn't look terrible. It's not. My wife walking around on the speakerphone. It's decent. I mean, yeah, sure, there's a little bit of fun to be had there, but not $250 worth of fun. $300 if you want to buy the Founders Edition. And so I don't know how many people can play on biplane. I saw at least 3 people playing. So here's the deal. If you want to be able to do that, if you want everyone to have the fun controller experience, you're going to have to buy a third controller too. And I don't remember the exact price of the controller. I know it was more than at least more than 50 or 60 bucks. I mean, I tried to look it up and I couldn't see it. I didn't really feel like spending a whole lot of time looking for it. But that's where this thing comes to. That's the problem. The main problem is the price is way too fucking high. It just, there's mosquitoes out here, and I know it had to have been the Amico cult. They released some mosquitoes on me, and it's like they found my secret hiding spot out here on my hammock. But guess what? I got them back. I got some secret footage of the after party Crayola event. Roll it. All hail Lord Intellivision, greatest company ever founded, created greatest game ever made, Astro Smash. Bring forth the virgin known as Cyrus Martin for the sacrifice.
got that camera back there? Shut that off!
Disgusting, right? I mean, who are these people? Ugh. But anyways, back to the Crayola event. So there were kids playing, you know, I mean, did they look like they were having fun? Yeah, I mean, there were some smiles on a few faces, but I didn't see like a lot of excitement. Like if it was like imagine if it was like a Nintendo game, the kids are like, oh, whoa, you know, like I didn't really see that. I mean, I saw like a couple little, haha, oh, yay. Like they were playing Shark Shark, the game, you know, I mean, you're swimming around, eating fish. It's okay, and it might be okay in small bursts, and maybe the kids will play it a little bit, but I guarantee you, you set Minecraft or Fortnite side by side, Shark Shark, nobody's gonna play Shark Shark unless there's just too long of a line for Fortnite. And the next level gaming guy, kept going on and on and on about how this is the reason why I'm buying the system, so I can watch him play games. Does he not have any other video game systems? I mean, my son has like, I was able to get him the Xbox Series X for Christmas, which he was super excited about. I lie up in, there'd be times, he plays it, you know, he plays all sorts of games on it. He played Minecraft. He doesn't play Fortnite anymore. He used to kind of play that, but he thinks it's cringe now, so he won't play that. I've watched him play The Binding of Isaac. I've watched him play Warzone, Call of Duty Cold War. I mean, what else? I don't know. I can't think of all the games right now because I don't have my notes. I was called a boomer for having notes, so I can't think without my notes. So, fuck you. Kid calling me a boomer for having notes. What's wrong with having notes? Anyways, like when did that become a bad thing to write down notes and talk about what you're going to talk about? I mean, I film with my phone, so I can't take like screenshots, and I do have a Galaxy Note 9, so I, you know, write on the screen, or I might type in the notes, you know, but I film with that. So what the hell else am I going to use? I'm going to write notes down. I mean, when did that become such a bad thing? This kid said, I don't know who it was, said that I was just as bad as the Amico cult because I used notes. I mean, okay, whatever. I mean, I'm 43 years old. That makes me a boomer, then I guess I'm a fucking boomer, whatever. I mean, my son calls me that, so I guess that's just the way it is. But, you know, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that the games all look like shit. They look like shit for a fully priced system, a $250 system. They don't look like they belong on that. And that's where this whole thing is going to fall apart once it goes to retail. I mean, like I've said in the past, I worked for retail for a long time. And when I was there, I saw the people making decisions on things. But in the electronics department, they're going to have the items locked up, okay? And they've got their Nintendo section. They've got their Microsoft section. They've got their PlayStation section. Then they've got their computer section. Where is the Amico section? Where is that going to be? I'm telling you right now, I know what it's going to be. It's going to be locked away, kind of somewhere down towards the bottom. Like, you're not going to see it. It's just, they're not going to have, like, I mean, maybe they'll have some Amico signs or something, but they're not going to have, like, all the physical games and all the peripherals for it. They're going to have a box, and then they're going to have, like, some controllers sitting there, and that's going to be it. They are going to have to have demo units out. That's the only way that they have a chance. But even then, they don't have a chance at that price point. Because here's what's going to happen. People are going to walk up and play those games, and they're going to be like, hey, this is kind of fun. I remember the Intellivision. This might be fun. I could pick this up for the kids. Then they're going to see that fucking price, and they're going to be like, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. You know, and you can sit here and say, well, it comes with 6 games and 2 controllers. Okay. 6 games. So what they're like, they said they were like $3 to $10. Let's say they're $8 games. So 6 games times 8, that's 48, let's say $50. You're still paying $200. $200 is way too much for this. That is the problem, is that they have priced themselves right out of the market. And then, like I said, if you want the controller, obviously, yes, you can play with the phone. But if you've got a kid, let's say, I know how kids are, man. Kids are selfish and they're spoiled. They're going to want the damn controller. And the one kid that's going to be like left out playing with the phone, who's getting his ass kicked because they don't have that precious dial, and the other ones are talking about, oh, the controller's good. That kid's going to get pissed, especially if he starts dying, and he's going to blame the controller. So you're going to have to go out and buy another controller. Or if you have 4 kids, then what are we looking at? We're looking at getting up there to $300. $300 to play these co-op games, because that's the selling point, is the co-op feature. I mean, thank God it comes with 2 controllers. I mean, if it didn't come with 2 controllers, then it's dead in the water. But still, I mean, if the fun of these games, especially biplane, the two people playing biplane, 3 or 4 people playing biplane, okay. But while I'm thinking about it, here's my biggest gripe about watching that biplane game. It's literally one of those where you're holding the button down, it looks like going pew, 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 pew. And then once in a while, it looks like you could pick up some power-ups where you hold it down and it goes pew, 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 pew. That looks crap. I'm sorry. Why couldn't it be pew, 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 pew? You know, like you maybe could maybe 3 is the maximum that you could have, but pew, 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 pew. You're just flying around holding the trigger down, going pew, 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 pew. I mean, it's pretty much luck if you're going to hit somebody. There's not much strategy in that. Like the precision of if you're flying, pew, 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 pew. You know, like that. That maybe would be some fun. Do you hear that car alarm? Okay, good. They turned it off. But, and then the same thing, it looked like it was the same thing they showed Astro Smash. It's the same thing. Pew, 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 pew. Like that's, no, man. Like come on, dude. Like that kills it for me. I mean, yes, I'm sure there could still be some fun, but and I guess that was probably how the old games were. But let's update that, you know? Like that's I don't know if it's too late to add that, but I tell you right now, like that would make your game so much more fun if you could have control, more precise firing, you know, like just that pew, 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 pew. Like that's just monotonous. The sound of it, I didn't like the sound of it. Like I don't like that. I don't like just that kind of firing. I mean, it kind of takes me out of the game because I just hear that droning of a pattern beat, you know, like pew, 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 pew. Like it ruins the music, it ruins the sound effects. I mean, it's that right there. I thought was a big red flag on that game. And why can't anybody point out things like that? That's pro Amico. Like, why wouldn't you point that out? Because it was literally another one of those things where it's like that next level gaming guy is like, look at how much fun everyone's having. Look at the smile on my son's face. And yeah, he had a smile on his face. Okay. He's at Crayola Factory playing games. Of course he's going to have somewhat of a smile on his face. But I saw a lot of other kids that didn't have a smile on their face. And even when he asked his like 15 or 16-year-old kid, I saw at one point he said, so what game was he playing? He was playing Astro Smash. So he was like, he even asked the kid, you know, like, so what do you think of it? He's like, yeah, pretty cool. And he said, so you think you play that game with my dad? Maybe. He said maybe. I mean, I'm sorry, but I can speak teenager, you know, maybe. I'll play it a couple times with you, but I'm going to be up in my room playing my PlayStation most of the time. You know, I'm gonna play games that are actually fun, games that are worth $250. And if these people want to waste $250 and that be there, it's their money. They can spend it how they want. I can just tell you as a consumer myself, that's it's not going to work. It's not going to work for most people. And like I said, it's just they don't have a big enough marketing budget. I mean, they're at this little Crayola event in one town, you know, like in somewhere in Pennsylvania, Easton, Pennsylvania or whatever. I mean, who's going to see it? I mean, like I said, are they going to have enough demo units for all Walmarts and Myers and whatever else places, Best Buy, like, or are they still selling them at GameStop? I mean, are they going to be able to afford to put a demo unit in every single one of these places? Because nobody is going to pay $250, man. Not in this economy right now, dude. It's not going to happen. I mean, the Nintendo is coming out with the Nintendo Pro or whatever the hell it's called. They're coming out with their new updated system, Switch, you know, the Pro Switch. And that's supposed to release this year too. Like there's no chance, man. There's no chance. There's no chance. And I looked on their website, on the Intellivision website, and it still says that they're shooting. They don't have a date, but it says they're shooting for Q4 in 2021. Here's another thing too I thought about. So, for example, they're talking about this chip shortage thing. Here's a real problem that we're dealing with right now. China is very close to committing to taking over Taiwan. And Taiwan is an ally of the United States, okay? We get a lot of our chips from Taiwan. If they have to go to war, which they would get their asses shredded by China, and we're too weak right now to even attempt to go after China to try to stop them from taking Taiwan. There's no way. There's no way that we could. And if China takes over, we are not going... There will be a chip shortage. There will absolutely 100% be a chip shortage. So, again, you know, it's going to be delayed. I mean, it's not guaranteed that China's going to do this, but they have been talking about it. And China feels emboldened right now. They for all the bad that Trump had, you know, I mean, they kind of feared him, and I don't think they fear Biden. I really don't think they fear Biden. I mean, he's definitely not as strong, and I don't think that the United States would do anything about it. I don't think we could do anything about it. We're not in a position to go defend Taiwan. I'm sorry to people that maybe live in Taiwan that are watching this. I doubt it, but there's no way. If China comes for you guys, they're gonna take you. We're not in a position to defend you. I mean, we're not. It would literally cause a world war if we went to war with China. So that right there is a problem for your chip shortage if that happens. But you know, $250, man. That's where this thing is dead in the water. The games, like I said, I mean, I saw them. They're not. You can't just sit here and say they're complete shit, unless that's just not your style. You know, I mean, it's simple arcadey games, Atari style games, Intellivision style games. Sure, you can say I'm shit, but for somebody like me who grew up with them, they're not terrible. There is some fun to be had. Not $250 worth of fun. The kids are going to see through it. They're not going to play it, and parents are not going to play it as much. I mean, maybe the cult members will play it, but people that buy it, they'll get tired of it. I mean, because you can just play these games on your mobile device, or you can play them on a Switch. But that's all I want to talk about as far as that's concerned. There was one other thing I wanted to talk about, and it has nothing to do with Amico. I saw that a sealed copy of The Legend of Zelda, the original Zelda, sold for $870,000. It was graded as a 9.0. It was an early print run, or maybe the first print run, and that's insane. That is literally freaking insane. I know Pat the NES Punk has talked about, Pat and Ian, they've talked about some of the video game grading, retro games being graded, and they're against it. I'm right there with them. I think that grading video games is stupid. I mean, they do it with comic books and toys and stuff like that, and I'm the kind I am somebody who collects video games, old video games, but I collect them to play them. I don't collect them as an investment or to like put it in a sealed box and set it on my shelf and not ever touch it or not look at it. I mean, that to me is so stupid. Like, what a waste of your damn money. You know, that's what's fun about video games. That's what's fun about buying and collecting video games, is you can play them. And yes, I know it makes me sound like a boomer, because you can certainly go on there and emulate them and play them. But you know what? I enjoy having the experience of the actual controller in my hand, getting the cartridges out, putting them into the system, and playing them on like an old CRT or something. Or I do have it's called AVS. I forget the name of the company, but it's a system that plays Nintendo games in high definition, and it's way better than like one of the Retron systems. Somehow it uses something in it that like it perfectly, basically it's almost literally like using NES parts in it. I mean, it's not emulation. I don't think it's emulation, but it's somehow like it's able to play the games exactly like the original NES did, but it upscales it into high definition, and it looks awesome. It's great to play it, and I enjoy playing it, and that to me is what this whole video game collecting thing should be about. It's like recently there's been a real uptick in these people coming in, and probably people who are not gamers, who never even played the game. I mean, maybe some of them are, but it's literally just like another greedy group of people coming in and trying to get in early on this and make money. But hey, I mean, that's close to $1 million. We're getting close to $1 million selling for one game, and I hope to God that they find like a box of the original Zelda games that are like in mint condition, and it comes out and that just plummets its value, because I know that was happening with like some of the sealed, like the Atari games and stuff. Like, they were going nuts, like for original, just like Spider-Man, like sold for a ton of money. I know like one of the Super Mario Brothers, one of them sold for like $660,000. I don't know, man. I mean, it just, what a waste of your money just to have that sitting there. I mean, at least a comic book, you can flip through the pages and, you know, kind of read it. I mean, you might want to be careful, but you could wear gloves or use a pair of tweezers or something and flip through it and read it and look at the colors. But a video game is meant to be played, you know? I mean, is it, like, I could certainly understand maybe if these prices were like $20,000, $30,000. Maybe it gets crazy and goes to $50,000. Okay, but $870,000 is so stupid. It is so... Whatever, man. I mean, I guess people can spend their money like how they want to. Just like if you want to spend your money on a $250 console that has $2 games on it, mobile games on it, shovelware type games on it, go ahead, you know. But it's not for me, and it's not going to succeed, and I just don't see them selling enough to make this thing last long term. I mean, what do they do? Support it for a year or two, and then they just stop and it collects dust? I mean, that's what's going to happen, because unless they price drop it, unless they come down, maybe 149, maybe a little bit more will sell there, but at 249, man, you've priced yourself out of the market. You have. But anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. Mosquitoes actually weren't so bad. I thought they were going to be a lot worse. I guess the Amico people couldn't get good mosquitoes to come after me. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Later.